Yo, 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 what's going on? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Empire Jeff TV. I am your host, Empire Jeff, coming to you on a Wednesday night from Los Angeles, California, man. Hope everyone's having a good night, had a good Wednesday, good hump day out there, man. No basketball tonight. No basketball tonight. Allowed me to get in a Los Angeles Dodger episode earlier today. So make sure to check that out if you didn't catch it earlier. I know it was a little earlier than y'all are used to. Didn't have the usual crew around because it was like, it was kind of like the pre-party, kind of like the happy hour. Now we're here. Main event here, you know what I mean? So Empire Jeff TV, and now you know what it is, man. Typical time. So appreciate everyone tuning in. I know not a lot going on tonight. So, pull up a chair. Let's kick it for about an hour and a half tonight. Let's talk some what's going on in the world of Los Angeles Lakers, Western Conference Finals. We'll talk about the Mavs and the T-Pups and whatever comes up in conversation throughout the night, man. But appreciate y'all tuning in. Like I said, hope you guys having a good day. So we got some news today, man. We got some news today. And for those who were living in reality and for those who were kind of, being realistic about the situation, being honest with themselves, pretty much knew that Ty Lue was never an opportunity for the Los Angeles Lakers. One, the Clippers were never going to let it happen. And two, let's keep it all the way real around here. The Lakers probably weren't interested in paying a head coach $14 million a year, which is what Ty Lue got on a 5-year deal, $70 million. Lakers are not doing that. Lakers aren't doing that. So even if Ty Lue was a free agent head coach, the Clippers would have outbid him. And like I've said in a couple previous shows with you guys, I never felt that the Lakers had any real belief they were getting Ty Lue. I believe that Ty Lue used the Lakers to leverage more money out of the Clippers. I believe the Lakers assisted in that and making it seem like they were waiting it out for Ty Lue to give him an advantage to make the Clippers spend more money on Ty Lue than they probably wanted to. And shout out to the Lakers for meddling in the Clippers affairs. Like the Clippers always meddle in the Lakers affairs when it comes to this type of stuff. Every trade that the Lakers are trying to get involved with, here come the Clippers. Every free agent the Lakers are trying, here come the Clippers. So, Ty Lue trying to get that bag. Here came the Lakers today. Shout out to the Lakers for bringing that cost of that bag go up. And shout out to Ty Lue for securing that 5-year deal, man. And interesting to see what happens here, man, because Ty Lue and the Los Angeles Clippers front office have not been on the same page for quite some time. And the fact that he gets a 5-year deal at $14 million, I'm very curious, Windhorst hands, very curious to see what this means for their front office and Lawrence Frank, to see if the Steve Ballmer and the top tier people in the Jerry West of the world sided with Ty Lue on kind of that little war that's going on with the Clippers organization there. Going to be very interested to see how that plays out. But a shout out to Ty Lue. But like I said, it was never an option for the Lakers. It was never an option for Ty Lue. The Lakers were never waiting this out to see if Ty Lue became available. They were never waiting it out to see if it fell apart with Ty Lue. That assistant leaving the Clippers really had nothing to do with Ty Lue potentially leaving the Clippers. And this could also be that Ty Lue may be reshaping some of his coaching staff. Maybe he stays, gets a couple of people, don't return on his staff, trying to shake things up a little bit. They've got the Paul George situation over there. They've got to work through the James Harden situation. They've got to figure out what's going on with Kawhi. Is he ever going to be healthy? Big offseason for the Los Angeles Clippers. And retaining head coach Ty Lue was the first step in a very important offseason for them. So they got it done. So I think it was the wise choice for both parties. Ty Lue got paid. They keep the head coach that they probably prefer. There's not a ton of them out there. Obviously, that's what the Lakers are going through right now. And they go into their arena with their head coach in Kawhi. We'll see if they go into that Intuit Dome with James Harden and Paul George. But sorry for all the people who thought that was a realistic chance. It never was. It was never going to be. It was fun topics of conversations along YouTube and Twitter. But like I said, it was never a reality. So that got done. But some interesting news over the last couple of days had been coming out and pretty much confirmed what I told you guys about a week to a week and a half ago when I did my video on JJ Reddick and the Coach K consulting and all that stuff. I said at the time that this was reminding me a lot of when the Lakers hired Vogel. They're kind of going back to that playbook. They may not be going back to the same candidates, but they are going back to the same playbook of what they used when they hired Coach Vogel, which I felt was the wiser playbook than when they hired Darvin Ham. They hired an experienced head coach with a strong defensive resume, which is what they needed. And they were very adamant about who his assistant coaches were. Jason Kidd was linked to that head coaching job. Lionel Hollins was linked to that job, amongst others. And both of those guys ended up on Frank Vogel's staff. So I had said on a previous video that I feel like this coaching search is shaping up to be more resemblant of that, to where I felt like some of those guys are going to end up on JJ Reddick's staff, because don't get it twisted, I still believe that's where it's going. I still believe he's the heavy favorite. I still don't believe for a second that it's going to be someone else. If it is, then I am wrong. Like I said, have no problem admitting that. That's just what I feel. That's just what a lot of people feel. I'm definitely not the only one. I'm not out here with some type of super intuition. I just think that's the odds-on favorite right now, unless something kind of drastic changes. But I think it's going to be JJ, and I think there is a chance that the names that have been linked to the Lakers as head coaches, that some of them potentially could be assistant coaches, and James Borrego potentially even the associate or the lead assistant head coach, kind of overseeing the offense or being a heavy assistants on the offense there on the coaching staff with JJ Reddick. Sam Cassell moving up a seat or two from what he's done on previous stops, maybe having a bigger role. Like I said, moving a couple chairs forward. Same for Jarred Dudley over there in Dallas, who's been linked. Definitely got some familiarity with Bron, with AD. Won a championship, obviously, with them. Was a very good vet in that locker room. Is respected around the league by a lot of players for just being a vet and being a solid guy to have around your team. And very, very possible that some or all of these guys could end up on the Lakers staff with JJ Reddick. But the one that came out that was very interested today was the news of Rondo being linked to potentially being a candidate to the Lakers coaching staff. Now that there's going to be a few things that may prevent that from happening. Maybe it's something contingent on when he's got a case that's going on in Indiana. I'll leave that to you to look up for yourself. Lakers may prefer to wait till that gets resolved, and maybe that will be resolved before the season starts. So maybe that's something that they get assurances on. I think I read something that's already being passed along to the Supreme Court, which is kind of strange. But like I said, do your own research on that. But Rondo being linked to that is something that Laker fans alike have been wanted for quite some time. And I think, just as I said, with the Lakers linking Coach K to this, with the Lakers making it seem like this is an AD-driven hire, like the Lakers making it seem like LeBron isn't attached to this hire, I really think that the process, and I don't know who's running this. I don't know who's the campaign manager in all of this. I don't know. But I think whoever's doing it is being smart. And I say that to say this is because the Coach K thing there is being there to apply and hopefully give some trust to this hire, some buy-in, if you will. Having Coach K kind of being linked as a consultant. You notice we haven't really heard that since that leaked initially, which is why, like I said before, I believe that he's involved because he is being kind of a mentor to JJ and kind of a consultant with JJ and maybe even LeBron and potentially AD, who've played for him on Olympic teams, that he is helping him potentially secure a staff, how to interview and hire a staff, how to insert a culture, how to go into this role, and how to coach LeBron James, Anthony Davis. I think that he's kind of linked to this. And again, I could be 100% wrong with this. This is just what I feel. I feel that his name attached to this is him being kind of a mentor to JJ here, and kind of that's his role in the process. That I feel is smart. One, you have someone helping the transition here that benefits the incoming head coach. Two, it gets some buy-in from the fan base, because whether they're being led to believe this or if it's actually true, there's a stamp of approval from someone outside the typical circle of trust within the Lakers organization, who a lot of Laker fans have lost trust in. So that's smart. Secondly, removing Bron's name from it to make it seem like it's a Laker decision, Lakers organizational decision, and not being forced by Bron. Three, actually, by linking this to kind of an AD hire and how AD will be consulted on this to make it seem like he's getting a little bit more power within the organization, just like he was linked to the firing of Darvin Ham. All these things are good and smart to put out there. And then third, to sit here and have all of these candidates be linked as head coaches, and some or all of them end up on JJ's staff, then you have that Vogel kind of dynamic where you have former head coaches and former assistant coaches that are respected on the staff. And then you get that whole big ribbon and bow wrapped around it by adding Laker Nation, savior, favorite head coach on the sideline, assistant coach on the sideline, whatever role you give him in the organization, Rajon Rondo. So whoever is running this campaign at the Lakers headquarters down there in El Segundo, or wherever they may be in the world, this is smart. This is smart. They've handled this in a way that gives them an out if it doesn't work out. They've handled this in a way that kind of gets some fan base buy-in. They've handled this in a way that kind of gets some star player buy-in. And I think that's smart, the way they've gone about it. Like, I have no idea how this will all play out as far as once the product is on the floor. No clue how it's going to play out. I still do 100% believe it's JJ. I think there's way too much smoke to not be fire there. I think there's a strong chance that that James Borrego can be the associate head coach or the top assistant head coach on the staff. At this time, I just find it hard to believe that he's going to be the head coach. Like I said, if I'm wrong, I'll admit it. I just, at this time, do not believe he will be the head coach. But I'm pretty much convinced that it's going to be JJ. Everyone I've talked to is convinced it's going to be JJ. The national media is convinced it's going to be JJ. I could tell you the Laker players are convinced it's going to be JJ, and that other teams are convinced it's going to be JJ, and agents are convinced it's going to be JJ, as well as even lower tier media is convinced it's going to be JJ. So if it's not JJ, then the Lakers have pulled off the biggest misdirection that they've done in quite some time, since they led everyone to believe that they were going to hire Phil Jackson and then went with D'Antoni. This would be like that. Now, Jim Buss and Mitch Kupchak are not here. There's not the same people to do it this time. But it would be on the lines of that if they completely pivoted away from someone like JJ and went with another candidate. Shout out to my guy Lamont. I see you in the building, my guy. I see Lamont in here saying James Borrego's top assistants just got condos in LA. Yeah, I don't. Where did I see you mention that? Was it on DJ's channel, Lakers in 5? I think I saw you put it in there, and that may be the case. As I mentioned, I think Ty Lue is in the process of removing some of his assistants. Some of them could land with the Clippers. Some of them can land at USC. I'm not really kind of letting that derail the JJ train. I think that there's still a strong possibility that that JJ lands as the head coach of the Lakers. So having said that, I just think the Lakers' approach and everything that they're doing, of all the names they've linked to this potential hire, no matter who it is, let's say, and I'm not doubting Lamont. I'm just saying this is what I feel. You know what I mean? But like I said, I think no matter who the Lakers hire, I think they're approaching this process of the names that they've linked, the way they've gone about linking it, the kind of narratives they've put out there. I really think that it's been smart, because like Lamont says here, Lakers will bring in an AD guy. Well, if the Lakers bring in LeBron's guy as the head coach, and then they bring in Borrego, Dudley, and Rondo, 3 AD guys on that staff, then it's kind of a win-win for both players. You get what I'm saying? So maybe Lamont's right. I could definitely be wrong. Like I said, I'm not dying on the hill, but I do feel strongly that it is going to be JJ. I have not talked to a single person that I've reached out to that either covers the team or has any sort of insight. I've gotten zero pushback on it. They're all convinced. So whether that comes out to be true or not, like I said, the Lakers have done this before. Like I said, actually, they've done this twice. Okay. They've done this twice. They did it with, everyone thought Phil was coming back a third time, and they pivoted and hired D'Antoni. And people forget, well, they don't forget, they bring it up a lot, but they did it with Ty Lue. Everyone was convinced that Ty Lue was going to be the head coach. The man had a birthday cake with the Lakers logo on it, and it ended up being Vogel. Now, the only reason why I would lend some maybe maybe some legs to what Lamont is saying here is, what if JJ's price tag is too high? What if he is demanding, even though he's a rookie head coach, he's kind of positioned himself as a star name at this point. Like he's turned down some other jobs. Like he turned down the Celtics, he turned down the Hornets. He's kind of positioned himself as being that guy that wants to pick his spot, kind of like how Steve Kerr did, which turned out great for the team that he picked, and almost kind of like to an extent what Luke Walton did, and that turned out horrible. But what I'm saying is maybe JJ is like, look, I'm going to do this, but if I'm going to leave ESPN and I'm going to put my podcast on hold and this career that I've got going, maybe JJ is like, I want between 10 and 12 million a year. And maybe the Lakers are like, JJ, you tripping. And maybe James Borrego becomes that guy. Maybe they're interviewing him again for potential head coach as a type of leverage play. Who knows? But all I'm saying is these are all potentially possibilities. But all I'm saying is from everything that I've been digging on and been told and reached out to, I haven't got, not one time have I got pushback on it being JJ. Not one. So, like I said, either the Lakers are doing one of the biggest cases of misdirection we've ever seen, or it's going to be JJ. Unless, like I said, negotiations fall apart over money, or JJ wants to pick his staff and it doesn't want to meet the Lakers' criteria for his staff. There are things that could potentially derail it, but I absolutely still believe that it will be JJ. So shout out to you guys for pulling up. I definitely appreciate the second show tonight. Like I said, we did a Dodgers stream earlier, so make sure to check that out. Dodgers just swept the New York Mets, swept the doubleheader and won 10-3 this afternoon in New York over there in Queens, man. So shout out to the Dodgers. But so yeah, so let's talk about it. I'll get you guys' chats right now. But like I said, I if I had to guess right now, I would say 90% JJ, 10% the field as far as the head coach goes, is where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at. So let me know right now. Let me know. Let me know in the chat right now. Let me get ones in the chat if you think it's JJ. Let me get twos in the chat if you think it's the field. Be honest. Be honest. Like I said, ain't no judgment. If you got a different take, a different opinion, there's no issues with that here. You know, we do over here at Empire Jeff TV. Everyone's got a voice via the chat. So go ahead, let me know what you guys think. One in the chat if you think it's going to be JJ. Two in the chat if you think it's going to be someone else. I'm going to go ahead and take the opportunity to throw my one in the chat because I'm convinced it's going to be JJ. So let me know where you guys are at with that. Let me know where you guys are at with that. So let me get to some of these chats real quick, and then I'll get back to what I'll talk about. Hey, Reg Dog, what's up with you, brother? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Dante, what's up with you, brother? Patrick, hello to you. Salute to you as well. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights, what's going on, my guy? Make sure to go to subscribe to Daniel Berry Sports Highlights, man. He's got a channel over there. Appreciate you. You said the Lamont. That ain't my business. I'm gonna mind my business. Kevin says, would you trade 3 draft picks from Makai if we could keep Reeves? All right, Makai, do you mean Mikal Bridges? If we could keep Reeves, I'm assuming it's got to be Rui, and I'm sure there's a combination of where you can get to his money. 3 picks for Mikal Bridges. You know, I was talking to someone about that earlier on Twitter, and I feel that's a little steep for him. I know they the rumor was they turned down 4 picks. They wanted 5. You know, Jovan Buddha came out today, said that time has passed. Teams aren't going to be offering that much for him. So my question is, where do you put Mikal Bridges at? Where do you put Mikal Bridges at? If you could get, I guess I would answer this question. I'll get back to it. If you could get Donovan Mitchell for those 3 picks, would you do him or Mikal Bridges, or would you do the trade for them? I'd do Donovan over Mikal Bridges right now, just for the simple fact, the guy that can, actually, you know what? The more I talk about it, the more I start thinking maybe not. But no, I'm gonna still do Donovan. I'm gonna do Donovan, do the Donovan trade. Because like I said, Bron a year older, AD played a whole season. Maybe some injuries are there, and maybe you need a guy who can go get you 40 any given night, especially come playoff time. So if all things are equal and you can get Donovan Mitchell for 3 picks, I would take Donovan trade over Mikal Bridges. And if you could get DeJounte Murray for 2 picks and keep a pick and go get someone else, I'd probably still prefer that. 3 picks for Mikal Bridges, that would be a lot. If it was 2 picks, maybe, but I think I might pass on the 3. Hey, Craig, what's going on? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Absolutely, man. Rest in peace to Bill Walton, man. Rest in peace to Bill Walton. NBA legend, college legend, just overall great and incredible guy. I have had the blessing and the luxury and the honor of meeting Mr. Walton a few times. And let me tell you, whether he was talking to people who played in the game, covered the game, whatever it was, he talked to everybody the same. Absolutely the same. I did not have a relationship for him where I could pick up a phone and call him. I couldn't, I had no communication outside of when I ran into him a few times. But always a very just solid dude. Every time I seen him, he appeared to be in a lot of discomfort and pain. He pushed through it, but just felt bad for the guy, man. Felt bad for the guy, but very, very kind, gentle, wise soul that left too soon. So rest in peace to Bill Walton, and God bless the Walton family, man. Really, really, really cool guy, man. Really, really cool guy. It was an honor to be able to shake his hand, man. Really, really cool guy. He'll be missed. Dante says, so now they're saying Vando can be moved and AR is preferred. Okay, guys. So Dante, I saw those reports. I'm going to touch on this. Keep in mind, you guys know me, man. You know what I'm going to say. Stop falling for every one of these reports, y'all. Stop falling. These teams are negotiating through the media. Agents are linking players. Agents are making their guys seem more valuable, less valuable, yada, yada, by other teams, by other agents to make their guys seem more valuable. I'm telling you right now, do not listen to all these reports. I invite you to go back and watch my streams around the trade deadline. Go back and watch what happened at the trade deadline, and then come back and listen to what I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now, stop falling for every one of these reports about who's available, who's not available. It's great. It's entertainment, but take it with a grain of salt. Start thinking about realistically what makes sense, what doesn't make sense. And then you could always, your team could get frisky, a team could get crazy, a team could get froggy, and things can happen that we don't see coming or don't think will. But the reality is, majority of the stuff that's being mentioned right now are nothing. It's very early in the process. There are still 3 teams competing for technically 2 and a quarter, competing for a championship. So depending on how this season finishes, do one of these teams fail out miserably? Like, things can become possible that are not currently possible, which could shift the league. Okay. So as of right now, nothing is going to be done. Nothing. So there's going to be a lot of talk between now and the draft, when the Lakers really can't do much until then anyways. And then even what's agreed upon around the draft still probably won't happen until after July 1st. So you're going to hear multiple versions of reports. You're going to hear complete opposite of a report of what you're hearing today. And then you're going to hear the recycled reports going back to what they did that got a lot of the impressions, a lot of the views, the clicks. This is going to be heavy. So like I said, the Reeves stuff, saying Vando can be moved and AR is preferred. AR very likely can be moved. Vando can be moved. I believe right now, and this could change in a week, this can change in a month. I believe right now that the odds are right now that Reeves is gone and Vando stays. Right now. I reserve the right to change my mind. This is not written in stone. That's just the vibe and the impression I'm getting right now. How many times have I said right now? Right now. But that's what it feels like right now. God, I'm saying right now a lot. Stop saying right now. Rui and Reeves are probably the pieces that get moved. And we'll see what happens with D'Lo. We'll see what that ends up being. Does he walk? Is he finding that he may not want to take the risk by not picking up the player option? Does he get signed and traded out? Like, there's too many things we have to wait and see for it to be really knowing for sure what's going on. The teams don't even know yet, so there's no way that the reporters do. Jeremy, what's going on, sir? He says, bro, have you been watching Kareem Report lately? Hello, him and Elder was going hard the other day about the coaching higher preferences. Shout out to Reem. Reem's been going a lot live during the day, like when he's out and about and moving. So I haven't been able to be fully engaged. I pull up, I drop the like, I shout him out, leave the comment, always support. But I didn't catch that one. I gotta circle back to that, especially if it was a level of entertainment. I gotta check that out. But shout out to you, Jeremy, for pulling up. I appreciate you. Big baby, what's going on, my guy? Absolutely, man. Drop a like on the video, man. If you have not done so already, please drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel also if you have not done so already, man. We got over 60 people in the building right now on YouTube alone. 30 likes on the video. So please drop a like on the video. Ron, help me out, man.
Acknowledge me, please.
Come on, man. It's 2 shows today, man. Putting in this work. Drop a like on the video. It's free. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Got all the links in the description for all the things I'm affiliated with. First link is to become a member on the channel. For less than the cost of lunch, you could become a member for a month over here at Empire Jeff TV. Some member-only videos, some vlogs, some giveaways. Going to become a member over here at Empire Jeff TV. You'll be greatly, greatly appreciated. But like I said, at the very least, drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. You all appreciate it. For those who have done so already and those who will do so in the past. Thank you, Mr. Big Baby Sports. And make sure to pull up on Big Baby and subscribe to his channel, too. He got a channel over there, too, man. Greg says, do you think the Suns will draft Bronny at 22 spot? He said he would only say he would go to the Suns and Lakers, no two-way contract. Again, like I said with the reports, be very careful. I told you, again, this is all stuff I told you guys. I told you, just like I did with the Donovan Mitchell, how I broke down about Bronny. I told you he will decline workouts with certain teams. I told you guys that. I told you he would decline 2 ways. I did tell you guys that. And I did tell you to be on the lookout for him being linked to teams that have Bron connections. James Jones is very close to LeBron James. He runs the Phoenix Suns over there. So just keep an eye. I've told you guys that the Lakers will most likely land Bronny via someone with ties to Clutch, looking for a future favor for Clutch, or looking to get millions of dollars from the Lakers to buy that pick. The Lakers have $7 million in money to spend this season that they have yet to spend. They have up to $7 million to spend. So teams will be like, you're going to pay us how much to draft Bronny for in the second round? And you'll probably give us an additional second round pick or 2 to make it happen. So be very, when you got a team that's got as high a luxury tax as Phoenix is going to have, $7 million is $7 million. Right? So what I'm saying is, like I told you guys, be on the lookout for teams with ties to LeBron or teams that have done business with Lakers in the past, because the Lakers got more relationship with people around the league that people want to admit or think, including Pelinka. Bronny is more than likely going to find his way to the Lakers sooner than the 55th pick. And it's going to be a team drafting him for the Lakers and trading him to them, or the Lakers will buy the pick in advance. It's pretty much how this is going to go down. Jeremy says Rondo joining the staff would elevate him as one of the best assistants in the league. Rondo is going to be the next great one in the making. I've been high on Rondo for a while. Like I said, we have to wait and see how he is on the staff. But like I said, I think so. Again, this is completely out of the Vogel process. Once again, you've got Rondo, who may have been, considered for the head position, if not for these situations that he's dealing with these legal problems that he's dealing with. Jason Kidd was facing a lot of public scrutiny at the time, and the Lakers couldn't make him the head coach, so they had to make him the assistant. And there was a lot of people saying, well, Vogel will only be there for a year to buy time for Kidd to take his job, and that never happened. So I could see that same scenario playing out where Rondo or these guys get added, Borrego, like these guys get added, and either go on to be a head coach somewhere else, or in the event that JJ doesn't work out, potentially, from there. So we'll wait and see on it. But I think there's a reason why, Rondo will not be a head coach right now. He's dealing with some legalities right now, and that's going to have to be played out before things can go any further. Patrick says, I don't know why Ty Lue stayed. PG-13 likes he is leaving. Could they really afford James Harden and Kawhi and load manage again? There's a chance that PG leaves. I think it's going to come down to PG. They're going to have to call the bluff there. So here's the thing. From what is kind of out there, what's kind of being put out there is the Clippers absolutely want to keep Paul George, but they don't want to pay him the max, just like they did in Kawhi. And the Clippers have put themselves in a position where I believe they don't want to pay him more than they paid Kawhi. So I think if he takes what Kawhi took, I think he stays. I think if he digs in there and demands the max, I think he potentially ends up maybe in Philadelphia. So that's going to have to wait. We're going to have to see who blinks there. I think that they definitely bring back James Harden. I think they made that trade for James Harden, both to help this past season and for this offseason in the event that Paul George decided to dip. And that way they still had 2 quote unquote stars to go into the Intuit Dome along with the head coach that they've now signed long term. I think the Clippers would be okay with letting him walk 1 year of Harden, get into that arena, and then maybe you trade Kawhi and don't bring back Harden after that next year, you get out of that second apron, you had that first year in the arena, and then rebuild time. I could totally see that happening. I think that's why they don't want to offer Paul George the max, is because I feel that that may make it more difficult for them to move him later. But Kawhi, even with the injuries, another season removed on that extension at not max money, a team will probably make a move for him if the Clippers wanted to get out of that. So I think the Clippers have a long-term play here. It hasn't translated onto the court as far as them being a smart franchise, but they really are. And I think that they are kind of locked in on a plan here, a long-term plan. And I think they're starting the process of that now. Jeremy says, I wish we could have added to our front office. It's an area in the organization where there's room for growth. Facts. We have the smallest front office in the entire league. So I totally agree with you there. I'm still hopeful. I know it's unlikely. I know it's far from probable. I'm still hopeful that Tim Connolly up there in Minnesota opts out of his contract and is open to moving because he doesn't want to be part of that ownership mess that's going to be happening, all the legalities, and potentially having to strip payroll. Because if Glenn Taylor is going to be the owner for the foreseeable future, he's not a man that wants to pay tax, and that's going to dip into their potential in winning. And I think Tim Connolly might not want to be there. He signed on there to be part of the A-Rod and his partners regime, and not necessarily the Glenn Taylor one. So that's going to be interesting. I know a lot of Laker fans out there want Bob Myers, but I would take Tim Connolly over Bob Myers. He's built something with two teams. One won a championship, one knocked that team out. I would look for Connolly over Bob Myers at this point. That's just my personal preference there. Logo, what's going on, my guy? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you, man. If Kid can be a coach, Rondo can be one. Yeah, Rondo can be one. I just, like, for what I mentioned, I just think because of what's going on right now off the court, I don't think he'll be the guy that'll do it. As I mentioned, a shout out Lamont there. We touched on this comment here. Warren, what's going on, Warren? He said, we need to draft a center or get one in free agency so AD can play power forward. Again, that ship has sailed. AD is a center. He's been a center since 2016. We do need to get a secondary big who can help out. But like I said, all that size got past Denver, but it's not getting them to the finals. It's not getting them to the finals. It's not going to get them a championship. So like I said, at the end of the day, guard play and wing play still reigns supreme. You can't go get a center and spend all your money to get another to overpay on bigs to hope to beat one team that you may not even face, and then not have the pieces to beat the rest of the teams in the league. So you got to pick your poison here. Got to pick your poison, man. 100% on Borrego. Okay, hear you. Lakers will bring in an AD guy. I think we talked about that. Stay up. What's going on, my guy? He said, yo, what up, Jeff? Do you think JJ would even be considered if him and Bron didn't have a podcast together? I don't know. Because I'll tell you this, there's a little layer to this that I don't think a lot of people know, is that JJ's been down with Clutch and Bron's entire business for a while. One of his first podcasts was launched with Maverick Carter on one of their outlets years and years ago. This was over 6-7 years ago while JJ was still playing when he first started launching it. So he's been doing business with them for a while. JJ and Bron have had a relationship prior to this, as he has with Clutch and Maverick Carter. So this is something, that's how that podcast came together to begin with. So that was kind of, this predates their relationship, and this has been kind of trending even before they did a podcast together. Them doing the podcast together could have been done after they've already both kind of forged this path already. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Greg, what's going on? Good evening to you as well. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. What's going on, my brother Chris? JJ versus Ham as coaches. JJ already ahead of the game. Yeah, because here's the thing. This is what I was saying. And I know there was a lot of backlash on this comment when it was made in the article. But you guys remember I dropped that Pat Riley line like 2 days before that article hit. And like I said, to say that, what I mean is the difference in personalities, where kind of Darvin is kind of floated along the sideline, obviously the hands in the pockets, the ridiculous takes during the press conference. JJ is going to be the complete opposite of that. He's a fiery competitor. He's going to challenge officials, challenge his players, challenge the media when they get out of pocket, and maybe even challenge the front office. I think it's a type of personality quirk that the Laker needs with their new hire. They need a little bit more pizzazz, a little bit more flair on those sidelines. And I think JJ fits that criteria. What he will bring as far as X's and O's, what he will bring as far as actual performance on the court, we're going to have to wait and see. But when I made that Pat Riley reference before, and that was even mentioned nationally, my thing was basically personality-wise. He's way more personality style of Riley than Darvin. So they need to go completely opposite of what they did with Darvin. As far as personality. Now, Darvin was at least on an NBA bench being an assistant. He had coached for a while prior to that. JJ obviously not, but he's been around the game. Like I said, there are. I did a whole in-depth video on this. Where it was the title to the video was JJ consulting for the Lakers. There was a whole video about that, breaking down why I felt this is probably the home run hire, the only chance at a home run. The other guys, I'm not so sure there's home run potential there. There's definitely strikeout, and JJ definitely has strikeout potential. But I think that he is the only one that has potential to be a home run hire. I think the Lakers see it that way, and I still believe he's going to be the guy. So 1 second here. Purple and Gold says, what's up, Purple and Gold? You think them guys can command respect in the locker room, Jeff, including Bron? I think they could. Like I said, if you got Borrego, Dudley, Cassell, Rondo, and JJ Reddick, they've all got kind of ties in that locker room already. So yes, I believe so. I believe they could. 1 second. So what I'm saying is they all kind of have ties already to the organization within that locker room. So I don't think that would be too bad of a transition. Lago says, I don't trust JJ over Rondo. Perhaps for media image only, he's better. I mean, I don't know what to expect from either one of them. I think they both have potential. I really would have loved Rondo. That's something I was speaking on before, kind of became a topic too. I was on years ago. I started talking about that. But like I said, I don't think Rondo's in a position where an NBA team's going to add him as a head coach right now, considering his legal battles. Chris says JJ has no choice but to command respect from the players. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. JJ is a type of guy. You're not going to punk JJ Reddick. He sits across the desk from Stephen A. Smith and Kendrick Perkins and holds his own and just goes at those guys full throttle. So if you get the impression that JJ is going to be a pushover, then you guys just haven't really been watching. JJ's not going to be a pushover. Judah, what's going on, my guy? If any other coach is named LeBron, if any other coach is named LeBron, to Phoenix may have some leg trading Bradley Beal for Bron could happen. Impossible. The Phoenix Suns cannot trade with the Los Angeles Lakers. They're a second apron team. It is out of the question. It's virtually impossible. Greg says, I think if it's JJ or JB, the Lakers pick their staffs. I think the Lakers, well, here's the thing. I think where the Lakers messed up with Darvin is you don't necessarily have to pick the person that's on the sideline with them, but you have to set the criteria of what needs to be on the sideline. What this person has to have accomplished to be the lead assistant, and who's the secondary, the third, and all that, etc. I think they need to set parameters for what that is. I believe they did that with Vogel. They did not do that with Darvin, and I believe that they're correcting that, which is why I said that they're going kind of more with how they hired Vogel versus how they hired him, and I think that's the right choice. Smitty Smith, what's going on, my guy? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Hope you're having a good one, man. So a lot of ones in the chat. All right, Red Dog put a 2 in the chat. Red Dog might be the only person to put a 2. Okay, Lakers all day don't put 2. Lakers, you guys do not think it'll be JJ. That's interesting. That's interesting. There's way too much smoke to not be fire, in my opinion. Lakers all day dope. What's going on, my guy? Said, what's up, bro? I want Sam as our coach, or Sam. You mean Scott Brooks? Scott Brooks kind of flailed out. I don't believe he'll be a head coach for this team. Maybe an assistant somewhere. I don't think so. Cassell has potential to be on this staff, but I don't know if Sam will ever get a head coaching gig. I just don't know. Sunday, what's going on? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you, man. Salute to you. Hope you have a good day at work, man. Hope you're having a good day up there. Jeremy says pros and cons, the hiring of JJ. Like I said, it's hard to really know what the actually strategy and stuff like that will be. But I think the pros of it are is what I just spoke on a little while ago, is the kind of the stuff that Darvin didn't do, holding players accountable, being able to step to a podium and being able to speak to the media in a way that makes some sense. I think he's just a fiery competitor that is a very smart basketball mind that I feel has a chance to be on that kind of like, could turn into something like a Steve Kerr. Not saying the 4 championships. What I'm saying, a guy that can end up coaching this league for 10 to 15 years, maybe. Who knows? Maybe he's out of the league in 2, 3. I don't know. But what I'm saying is the Boston Celtics, Charlotte Hornets took a heavy run at him. There probably are other teams that reached out that hadn't leaked yet. So like I said, it's not like he's some guy that the Lakers picked that no one else was thinking or considering. So, I again tell you guys to look at the pool of coaches available, and it's just not that great when it comes to head coaches. It's just not that great. And if you listen to what Melo said, if you breaking it down of why he thinks it's a great hire, if it happens, Sam Cassell has interviewed for so many head coaching jobs. He's never gotten one. Now, I don't believe that James Borrego was let go from Charlotte. Like I don't put that on him. I don't believe that's his fault. No, nowhere near his fault. I think he could be a very solid assistant coach, and I think he maybe have a chance to be another head coach in this league. Just not the Lakers. Just not the Lakers, man. The Lakers need star quality, a name over there. They need to stop getting these guys. JJ Reddick, at the end of the day, is a name. National powerhouse at Duke. He was a top-tier player coming into the draft. Had a long NBA career. Big name in the media. Like, that's an LA hire. That's an LA hire. And while I understand that you need someone who can actually coach, but maybe JJ can. Maybe he can. And I don't know where this goes, but I do see home run potential. Definitely see strikeout potential too. Brandon, what's going on, man? He says, salute to the GOAT, Jeff. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's see. I will trade 2 picks in Austin for DeJounte Murray. That might be what it takes to get it done. I believe that Atlanta would like to move Trae Young and maybe potentially keep Murray. I think that's something they will consider. But depending on what they get back for Trae Young, they got the number 1 pick in a draft that a lot of people aren't too crazy about. If they may look to clear the deck. They really might. They really might. Bridges is not it. Okay, a lot of people don't want to do that. Bridges there. Hailey, what's going on, Hailey Ford? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Excuse me. I prefer Donovan Mitchell over Mikal Bridges. Mitchell can consistently take over games. Yeah, I would too, especially if the price tag is comparable. I'm going Donovan Mitchell every time for that price. Tyrone, what's going on, sir? If Celtics lose finals, would you trade for Jaylen Brown? I'm going to tell you this right now. If the Celtics lose the NBA finals, and if they lose that NBA finals, anything outside of 7 games, stay tuned. Just stay tuned. That's all I'm going to say. Lamont says, Hawks want to keep Murray. The coach already said it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, they may want to. Coach has no say in that. But at the end of the day, I think the Atlanta Hawks owner, if he can get close back to what he gave up for Murray, I think they do it if they're looking to clear the deck. I don't know if they want to be in middleman's land. They're not going to be a top team in the East. They may want to bottom out. With this new CBA kicking in this summer, the full portion of it would benefit some of those teams to clear the deck now. It would benefit because you may be able to get some things from teams that are looking to make some major moves, and you could facilitate that and potentially set up your future. So I don't know for sure what they're going to do, but I don't know why Atlanta would be looking to keep anybody. You got the number 1 pick. You have potential to get multiple picks. If I'm Atlanta, I bottom out. I just bottom out. You're not playing for anything. What's going on, Micah? How well does that Bridges? Oh, sorry. How well did he do that Bridges deserved 2 picks? Or am I thinking of the wrong Bridges? No, the Bridges in Brooklyn that was on Phoenix. He's a very solid 3-and-D player who stepped up his offensive game while in Brooklyn when he was, a good player on a bad team, able to chuck. I think he's a solid player. I think he's a player that could contribute to a championship team in kind of like probably like a better KCP. But it's going to be expensive both in contract and in trade assets to get him. I don't know what his market is yet, so we're going to have to wait to see on that. But I do know that they turned down 4 picks for him about a year and a half ago. So you probably think that they want at least 3 picks. You might be able to steal him for 2, but 3 that's a little expensive, man. That's a little expensive. Roger Dodge, what's going on, man? Dalton Connect. What do you talk about? I don't know what you mean. Lego says Brown has said multiple times he loves Boston. He does a lot of their community. Tatum is the one that would leave if any of them do. You're right. I'm telling you right now, keep an eye on some fireworks, some green fireworks. If this blows up bad. Greg says I would do Donovan Mitchell since he can help AD lead the Lakers after LeBron is gone. He can help lead after LeBron is gone, and he can also help while LeBron and AD are here. His contract is not crazy. When it comes down to giving him more money is when the cap spikes, new TV deal, etc. I felt a pretty strong article on this on my Substack. The link is in the description. Go ahead and check that out. I laid out the plan of why I feel this is a good move for now and the future. I'm touching on a lot of points that a lot of people don't touch on. So make sure to go and give that a read. Samuel, what's going on? He said Lauri Markkanen should be a target. I think they may make a call on him, but I don't think Utah's going to move him. I just think now I think Utah's going to start adding people now. I think they're good with collecting all the picks that they set out to collect. I think that they are now going to be in a position where they want to add to that team for the future. And I think if they were going to move Markkanen, I think it would have been this past trade deadline. I think they've settled on keeping him. I could be wrong. That's just what I feel. I think they've settled on keeping him. Left free agent on the loose. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. So here's the thing. It makes sense for the Lakers for LeBron to opt out. I think the savings are something like $4.5 million over the life of the contract, whatever, 2-3 deals, whatever it is, years, whatever it is. This saves the Lakers some money. So LeBron, in the spirit of taking a pay cut, which everyone has mentioned, including myself, which isn't going to happen, this in a way is taking a pay cut. Him opting out, leaving roughly almost $5 million on the table by re-signing as opposed to waiting and signing the extension, frees up some money in tax for the Lakers. So in a way, that's him kind of doing a solid. Could also secure a no trade clause, which he effectively already has, but he can make it official. Could have that status in the league. Maybe he doesn't like the fact that that Bradley Beal has a no trade clause and he doesn't. Maybe he wants to be able to say that Kevin Durant doesn't have one, but he does. But LeBron effectively has a no trade clause. The Lakers are not trading him. So like I said, I believe it does make some sense for him to opt out. And while I think that him and the Lakers are on the same page, and I think that anything is going to be done in with the thinking of re-signing with the Lakers for 2 to 3 years. I don't think there's any scenario where he leaves. I don't think there's any scenario where he even visits another team. That's just my opinion. We live in a world where things can change daily, but that's just what I feel right now. And I'm pretty confident that's what I'm going to feel throughout the process. Purple and Gold says, hey, Jeff, you think Phoenix will use their 22nd pick for Bronny and Bron follows sign vet minimum? Nope. I don't believe any team is drafting Bronny in the first round. And like I said, Bron is not even going to take a pay cut from the Lakers. He's damn sure not going somewhere for the vet minimum or mid-level, which Phoenix doesn't even have. Bronny will be a Laker. Bronny more than likely will be a Laker. And Bronny will more than likely become a Laker via second-round pick purchased by the Lakers from another team. Darren says, what's going on, Darren? Patrick Jane is my GOAT. What's going on? Ty Lue is clutch guy and got in the bag. Yeah, that's what I said. I felt this. So you guys know, I said this a couple shows ago. I've said it on Twitter that I felt this was kind of the Lakers' way of sticking it to the Clippers, for the Clippers always meddling in their business. Clippers need to learn to mind their business, and maybe next time the Lakers will mind theirs. Mind your business, lady. Let's see. Patrick says the billionaire Phoenix Sun owner is crazy, man. With all that crazy moves, acquiring KD, Booker, and Beal, now drafting Bronny with the first round. I don't think they draft Bronny with the first round. Again, like I said, I told you guys a couple of videos ago, keep an eye out for a team or teams or someone that's got relationships either to the Lakers or LeBron. James Jones has a relationship with Bron. They can extract up as much as $7 million for that pick. And Phoenix is in a position where $7 million can go towards that tax and potentially get some future seconds that they could use in other moves. It makes sense business-wise. So it's not crazy to think that a team like Phoenix could use their second-round pick earlier or acquire one to potentially get 2 picks for one and up to $7 million in cash from the Lakers. Leak, what's going on, my guy? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you, man. What up, Jeff? What are the 2 players you're most confident the Lakers are trading? Right now, I would say Rui and Austin. D'Lo's a wild card, depending on what happens with him. But as of right now, I would say those 2. Darren says, I hope the Suns draft Bronny and trade Durant for LeBron. A piece of cake. Phoenix can't do that trade, though. Again, guys, Phoenix in that second apron is literally handcuffed. They literally can do next to nothing when it comes to trading with the Lakers. Like they literally can't right now. Dante says PG is running out to the East Coast way easier. I think he might, and I think he should, especially if he wants that max. Dan Inspiration, what's going on, my guy? Ballmer sucked as Microsoft CEO. He still sucks as Clippers owner. What's going on, Dan? What's going on? Lakers need Naz Reid. Naz Reid, they tried. They were hoping and praying that Naz was going to enter free agency this past summer, but he signed and re-signed and re-upped with Minnesota prior to free agency. The Lakers are now that's probably the biggest reason why Cat may be out of there. They may look to commit to him on that front line with Rudy, and he's going to have to get paid again soon, and they may look to prioritize him over Cat. Lamont says Pelinka has had the hardest job in the NBA to build a title contender around a 40-year-old max contract player. Yeah, that's a fact, 100%. Yeah, we hit it on the head there. Facts. The people saying double facts. Yep, triple facts. Jeff, what will the Cavs offer Mitchell the extension? When will the Cavs offer Mitchell the extension? And what other signs you see that he will not extend? They may have already started having conversations on it. It's hard to tell. My gut tells me right now, I could be wrong, and this could change. I'm going to always say that because it's just a fact. I'm leaning right now towards the fact that they will offer him the extension. He will decline it. Not say like, I don't want it. Not in a demanding a trade way. I think he will decline the option. Decline the extension, be non-committal about his option, which will force Cleveland to think about moving him. And then if he does have a team in mind, he can use those scenarios as leverage. It's going to be a wait and see approach. There's mixed reports out there. I feel right now that there's a chance that he gets moved this summer. That could change at any point, though. Triple facts. Yep. Do you think the Lakers will hire JJ after the finals, only giving him a week before the draft? Well, they can make it official. I think it'll kind of. I think we'll have clarity during the finals. Shout out my guy Anthony Irwin. He pointed out that leaking during the finals is just a Laker way. I think that they would like that to be covered during the finals. So I think we'll have some clarity during the finals at some point, probably sometime between game 2 and 4, maybe. And don't get it twisted. When it becomes public is completely different than when they're already working together. If JJ is a guy and they already know that, there's already communication going on. So when it becomes official, as far as us, common folk find out about it officially, that just means that's when they put it out there to the masses. But if he's the guy, they know him to be the guy, then that will be, they'll be working on those things way prior to us finding out. It won't just be, okay, you just hired, now let's get to work. Speaking of get to work, let's go and drop a like on this video, y'all. Come on, man. 38 likes on the video. We've got almost 70 people in the building right now. Only 38 likes on the video. Please drop a like on the video if you have not done so already. If you like what you're here, it's your first time here, please subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way to help the channel, so we greatly, greatly appreciate it. About 30% of the people that are here on a nightly basis have yet to subscribe to the channel. You're here every night anyways. You might as well go ahead and subscribe. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. And look forward for you to coming around more. So appreciate y'all. If you haven't done so already, like I said, drop a like and subscribe to the channel, my guys. Appreciate you, my guys and ladies. Patrick says, I'm confused on whether we are going to be contenders this next 2 years or are we on the LeBron farewell tour. It's going to be hard to be a contender in this climate, like Lamont pointed to. LeBron making anywhere from 50 to 55 mil. AD's making what he's making. That much money being tied into a 40-year-old. And this is going to sound crazy. I don't mean it to that extent, but at times it's going to feel like having 47 million tied into Westbrook from the standpoint of you can't spread that money around. You're not going to be able to count on that money. You can count on that money for what it brings you off the court. Absolutely. And on the court from a monetization standpoint. But you're not going to be able to count on that money night after night. And I'm not sure that money's being spent on making you a contender. I don't know. That's no shade towards Bron. He's going to be 40. And you have to have realistic expectations when it comes to that, especially how many games he played last year, how many games AD played last year. It's reasonable to believe that they can miss more games next year than this year. That's very reasonable. So with that being said, it's tough. It's really tough. Bloodhound, what's going on, my guy? LeBron Jr. tour. It'll be a circus. It might be. Tony, what's going on, man? If you were Bronny, would you want to go to the Lakers or somewhere else and get more minutes? If I'm Bronny, I'd rather go somewhere else. Maybe make your way to the Lakers eventually. However, maybe Bronny's looking like, the best way for him to make some money is the Laker brand and his brand and the James brand together. If that's what he's looking at, to make his own money, even though he doesn't need it, but maybe he wants to carve out his own name, his own brand. LA is probably the best place to do that. But if you're Bronny, going to a younger team, playing with more players of your age and kind of status in the league, you can make an argument that's better for him. But maybe that's not better for his brand. Who knows? HC Picks, what's going on, my guy? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you, man. I ain't gonna lie. Without Lively, Dallas in trouble. Dallas is in trouble for the chip, but I don't think there's any way they lose this series. But I agree with you. Lively is super important to them. Facts. Eric Stewart, what's going on, my guy? Celtics in 6, Dallas or Minnesota. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I think that Dallas has a legit chance to beat them. Will they? We'll see. But I think they have a chance. I do. Wesley Green, what's going on? He says, let's go, Lakers. Facts. Facts. Let's see. You ain't getting nothing for 2 picks. The Rudy Gobert rule. Nah, you can get someone for 2 picks. You could have got players this past trade deadline if you had 2 picks. Lakers just didn't have them. You'll be able to get people for 2 picks. Let's call our new coach Coach J in homage to his coach K. Hey, that's not too bad. Lakers all day says if Boston losing the championship, JT will be a Laker. Man, it's going to be an interesting. I'm telling y'all, man. I've been telling y'all. Purple and Gold says, TP told Trevor Lane he wants to be back here with us during an interview yesterday in his podcast. Yeah, I've been saying it too. Look, under the condition of if we could get Taurean Prince back, if he's willing to come back under a new head coach, 15 to 17 minutes a game, and he's willing to maybe take a minimum, I'd do that. I'll do that right now. To have a veteran wing out there under a new coaching staff, I think that's something that you strongly would have to consider. Strongly. Let's see. Real solution. Let Bron and D'Lo walk. Get a max 2-way point guard to pair with AD. Build from there. Yeah, I hear you about solution, but it's not realistic. The Lakers are still going to be in the Bron business for a while, man. Eric says, "Are we getting Donovan Mitchell?" I don't know. I believe we have more of a chance to get him than some people want to admit. But I'm not. That doesn't mean we're getting him. I think that he has some leverage here. I think there's some things he can do to make that more possible. But there are some things that have to play out in order for that to happen. Maybe that does play out. Maybe it doesn't. But we will have to. Maybe we're going to have to wait till after the draft, during the draft, to determine if that comes true or not. Dante says, Jeff, any chance something goes down with Giannis if the Bucks are second apron team and can do close to nothing to improve the roster? Look, I've been saying this for a while, and you probably didn't hear me say it, but what I'm saying is I've been saying this for a while, and I'm going to continue to say it. In the very near future, there are going to be people becoming available that no one saw coming. Having said that, the Lakers are extremely well positioned to act on that. And that's all I'm going to say about that. This summer has potential to get crazy. Potential is the key word. Potential to get crazy. How this season ends, how the season ended for some teams. There's some tough conversations going around in front offices around the league right now because of this new CBA, there are some very, very tough conversations about some of these teams clearing the deck and getting ahead of it to potentially put themselves ahead of these other teams who play catch up in the next coming summers. There are going to be teams who prioritize 2026 over 2024's offseason. And for those that do, it would kind of behoove them to get a head start on that now. So the Atlantas, as I mentioned, the Brooklyn Nets, the Portland Trail Blazers, the Orlando Magic, the Charlotte Hornets, all of these teams and more. The Utah Jazz, the Houston Rockets, the San Antonio Spurs, the Chicago Bulls, the Detroit Pistons, all these teams have heavy motivation to clear their decks. I'm going to remove Utah from that. I do believe they're focused on 2026, but I don't have them as a clear the deck team. But all those other teams, they have potential to get crazy. Crazy. Is it possible the Lakers to get Donovan? Some DM45 talking about Donovan. Yes, it is possible. Is it likely? I don't know. Definitely possible. And I will continue to stand on this. It is more possible than people think or want to admit. Very possible. Not saying likely, not saying imminent, but very possible. And it will continue to be possible until it's not. Why is Chris Haynes saying that JJ is the new head coach and Woj just saying it will take weeks for the Lakers head coach? So we're all as good as the information we get. People use these guys in different ways. People get these guys get used for different reasons through different camps. It could be an organization is talking to one of these guys. It could be an agent is talking to one of these guys. It could be JJ himself is talking to one of these guys. So like I said, this comes from different pockets. It comes from different areas of intel. So at the end of the day, but this is why I always state, if you listen to what was said, they're essentially saying the same thing. If you combine their two reports together, it's going to be JJ, but it's not going to be soon. Which why I said is during the middle of the finals or after the finals is when it'll come out. They're both going to be right. Where it was JJ, and it's going to take weeks. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, I'm the summer school here to teach you how to read these and put these reports together like a puzzle. I'll tell you, that's what it is. People be grabbing these reports and stick to the headline, the click part of it, but not the whole story. And if you put all of these reports together, it's all going to equal them believing it's JJ. It's not going to happen this week. Maybe not in the next 2 weeks. But like I said, there's been zero pushback from anyone saying that it's definitely not going to be JJ. Just to be clear, if a second apron team does any chance, does that salary have to match 100%? Yes. Second apron team, yes. That's why I said a deal with Phoenix and the Lakers for like a player like KD, it's impossible. Second apron team can't even go to the bathroom. That's restricted. Yeah, I mean it's designed to effectively be a hard cap. That's what it's designed. Some teams will blow past it and then get out of it. Some teams will get crazy and blow past it and just gut their future and still not win. But like I said, I could see some teams running for the hills getting out of it. The Warriors are going to get out of it. I'm telling you that right now. The Clippers are going to get out of it. Suns, I don't know. This owner is a little bit too froggy out there, man. He may force himself. He may paint himself into a corner that he cannot buy his way out of. Jeremy, what's going on, man? No way Torian takes that minimum. Hey, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Like I said, people were saying that about Christian Wood last year. People were saying that there was no way Torian takes a biannual exception last year. Money dries up quick, and there's more to this in just mentioning that. So again, these are layers that the average fan don't know, which is not their fault. They shouldn't know, really. I'm just kind of a little too obsessive with this, with digging into stuff. But by Taurean Prince signing even at the vet minimum with the Lakers, he's now, when he becomes a free agent the following summer, has early bird rights. He could then sign slightly bigger for year 3. And then by year 4, could have full bird rights or sign longer on those early bird rights. So if he wants to be in LA for the next 3-4 years, taking that 1 year at the second year at the vet minimum doesn't really hurt him when it comes to the long-term picture if there's mutual interest in a long-term relationship there. So signing the second year at the vet minimum would lead to a path of him getting more money later. So like I said, it's more possible than people think, but it's all CBA related. Jeff, what can the Cavs offer Mitchell to convince him to stay, assuming that Mitchell's priority is to play with a competitive roster? I think he would like to play with a competitive roster, but I think having played in Utah and now Cleveland, I think this is just my personal opinion. I feel that Donovan wants to play on a larger stage in a bigger market. I think he wanted the Knicks. The Knicks chose Brunson. I think the Knicks are off his radar. And I think now it's the Lakers that would be his destination of choice if that's what it comes to. That's just my feeling on it. A lot of things would have to happen for that to happen. But like I said, I believe winning is a priority, but I also believe that Mitchell wants to be on the larger stage in a bigger market. Rich Paul need to hook up with CAA agency as we can lure Spider here to LA. Like I said, they were it's if Donovan wants the Lakers, CAA has no say in it. None. It's their job to make it happen. And if they don't make it happen, then you'll see Donovan leave and go to Clutch. So these agents don't have any ability to override their players' preference. They have no authority over that. So if Donovan is focused on the Lakers, CAA is going to be out there trying to make it happen to get him to the Lakers. What to do, KD? Appreciate you, man. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, Trey LD. Appreciate you. Let's see. Imad, I hope I'm saying that right. Let's make a trade for Steph Curry. Steve Kerr loves Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves, Rui, and 3 first-round picks for Steph. That doesn't work mathematically. And the Warriors owners and Mike Dunleavy Jr., who now runs the front office, would have to run for the hills if they ever did that deal. They would riot outside of the Chase Center if that were to happen. But hey, I would love it. I would do that in a second. But the Warriors are definitely not doing that. D'Lo, Rui, Reeves adds up to 48 million. Giannis makes 48 mil. Let's do it. What's up, Dante? Yeah, man, I'm telling you, man, it has potential to get crazy. I hear Drew Holiday and his family are big Laker fans. Any chance we can have him as soon as possible? He's 33 years old, I think. No, he just signed an extension with Boston. So if he does go anywhere else, it's because Boston traded him, and he's not even eligible to be traded until late in the summer because he signed that extension. Maybe even into next season. I got to check the date on that. Jeff, do you remember how the Crip Walk became a thing? Yeah, just gangster rap. Dub C and part of West Side Connection, all of them was a major part of it as far as hitting like the main stage and then kind of going mainstream. It was kind of always a thing in LA. But then once it started hitting like videos and movies and TV shows and all that stuff, then it just kind of went global. But just the LA street life making it to the mainstream. Trey L. Day says, you probably covered this, but Rondo on the staff is huge. Yeah, I definitely covered it in length. So you can go back to the beginning of the video to hear that. But I think it's possible. I think there's reasons why he won't be a head coach immediately. And I think that it's kind of, I kind of painted the picture as what the Lakers are doing is they're getting buy-in from the fan base and getting trust by attaching Coach K and by potentially linking Rondo to this staff and maybe even Dudley. If by adding these guys, it kind of gives you a little bit of equity and trust from the fan base by adding JJ, and I think that's smart. I really do. Quality Kev, what's going on, my guy? If Mavs wins the finals, does Luka officially become the poster boy of the league? Yes, he does. West Side, absolutely. Warriors trading Steph for no reason is like Lakers trading Kobe for no reason. Yeah, they're like I believe that he will retire a Warrior. It just makes too much sense. They're going to continue to take care of him like the Lakers took care of Kobe. I just believe that will be the case. It makes no sense. They will get sellouts even if they're not winning just for having him on the roster. So like I said, I believe that he will be a Warrior for life unless for some reason he demands out. I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to want that Kobe path. He's gone this far. He's got the 4 rings. He's got crazy paid. They took care of him each time. Again, I can't predict the future. This is just my assumption, my guessing. It is my gut feeling will tell me that he will retire a Golden State Warrior. That's just what I feel. I think it just makes too much sense for both parties. There's too much money to be made. And you could see it. You could see where they kind of go the path of maybe Dre's gone, Clay's gone. They get below the second apron. And you know, it's his team. It's always been his team, but it's him out there and just racking up points, filling up his legacy as far as individual scoring, and continue to get paid until he don't want to play no more or until his body shuts down. But I think they do get at that second apron in the near future. What about Jarred Dudley? Jeff, have you heard anything about him joining JJ? Yeah. So like, I didn't hear anything about that until the reports came out. So when the reports came out, it made sense. He could get probably a little bit of a bigger role in the Lakers staff than he has right now in Dallas. Same for Sam Cassell. Borrego could become an associate head coach. So like I said, I could see a world where every single one of those other quote unquote head coach candidates end up as assistants, just like what happened with the Vogel hire. Darren says Kobe 5 championships with the Lakers. LeBron 1. Stop. I don't know what you mean by stop. I don't know where anyone compared Kobe to Bron. Or Bron to Kobe. I didn't see that. 1 second. Let's see. The Western Conference Finals has been underwhelming. I expected more of a fight from the Wolves. Yeah, I hear you there. So I kind of frame it like this. I'm curious to see what you guys think about it. Although it being 5 games, I feel like the Lakers took a lot out of Denver, which is why Minnesota beat them. And I think Denver took a lot out of Minnesota, which is why Dallas is beating them. Some of these series take a lot out of you. They absolutely do. And we will see what that leads to in the next round for Dallas. But like I said, I never saw the Wolves as a contender or even a finals team. I know it was a bad matchup for Denver, just like Denver was a bad matchup for the Lakers. Sometimes it's just you favor that matchup. And the Mavs are kind of a bad matchup for a lot of teams. And while I'm not necessarily saying they're better than all these teams, even though they're beating them, what I'm saying is they're a bad matchup because while they're not great at shooting the 3, they can shoot the 3. What Luka and Kyrie can do with the ball, getting to the rim with a lob threat, these role players stepping up just out of nowhere, and Lively playing like a seasoned veteran with all these rebounds, Gafford, the moves they made. Like Dallas is, I was kind of calling them a wild card going into the playoffs, and that wild card has been used. And I think they have a chance to win it all at this point. I would not have said that at the start of the year. I'm not even sure I was willing to say that at the trade deadline, but I'm definitely willing to say that now. Trey says, I prefer depth over star for our Lakers going forward. Yeah, I've always been kind of subscribing to that thought. My only problem is that our depth has always let us down. The depth is either hurt, it disappears in the clutch, disappears for a whole series, whole playoffs. So why I've been a fan of depth, our depth continues to let us down. So sometimes you just need that third killer. Sometimes you need a guy who can get you 40 in a night where AD just can't, where Bron just can't. Maybe you just need that guy. And again, someone like Donovan Mitchell at $35 million, you can still have other pieces. And you still have a guy that can get you 50 in a playoff game. A guy that has cooked Murray in the past. You know, if you got to go against Ant. If you got to go against Murray. If you got to go against Booker. Like going against these teams in the West, Luka, Kyrie, you're going to need a guy with a ball in his hands that can go get 50. Obviously not every game, but it's capable of going to get 50. You're going to need it. It just makes too much sense to me. Trail Day says, facts. Appreciate you. So if the Lakers try to trade for a star, would hard cap the Lakers at the second apron? Does that hard cap the other team as well? Or am I tripping? You the cap goat. You heard? Talk to me. It depends. There's different variations to it. So there was no hard capping them at the second apron unless they do a sign and trade out. So like if they sign and trade D'Lo out, That will hard cap the Lakers at the second apron. If they take a sign and trade in, that hard caps them at the first apron. I don't believe that the Lakers, I believe the Lakers will intentionally not go above the second apron. They will either hard cap themselves to ensure that they don't, or they will just effectively have their own imaginary second apron hard cap and won't cross it. So I believe that they will be using that second apron as a hard cap. I believe they will go into tax. Depending if we end up in a world where they get a non-taxpayer mid-level, like there's certain things that they can do that they can trigger the hard cap at the first apron. I think they're going to look to avoid first apron hard cap, which is above the cap and above the tax line. But I believe that they're going to go above the first apron, above the cap, then above the first apron, above the cap, then above the tax, and then above the first apron. But I do not believe that they will go above the second apron, like maybe ever. We got a super chat in the building. Thank you so much, Highly Ford, for your continued support. You are greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. If the Lakers land Spider, would they realistically be able to land the mystery star you mentioned next year? I'm referring to the one you won't name. No, they will not, because they will use more than technically, yes, but it would require Braun, AD, or Spider being moved. Outside of that, I'm still going to say no, because the picks that would require for it to happen would be used on Spider. So I'm going to say no, that they wouldn't be able to get that mystery person. However, I can't go further because it would, but no, not in the way that I've been talking about it. James, what's going on, James Caldwell? What's up, Empire Jeff and Laker fam? Hope you're having a good night, brother, and highly appreciate you once again for that super chat. By the way, it was Lucky's birthday on Sunday, man. So all the cash apps, I got some cash apps over the weekend from people who saw it on IG. So all cash apps and super chats and super thanks and everything I'm getting this week is going towards more gifts for Lucky, which kind of all my super chats do anyways, but all of it's going towards Lucky, gifts from the community. So shout out to everyone who did it already. All super chats, super thanks, cash apps, all going towards some more fly gear here for Lucky. So I appreciate y'all, man. So Highly Ford, my little terroristic beagle over here says thank you for your contribution. Let's see. Controversial man says I say move Rui, Gabe, JHS in a 3-team with ATL and San Antonio. Maybe those are pieces that could be moved. Lakers get Murray and the Hawks get Cassell, Devontae Graham, Keldon, Trey Jones, and the Spurs get Rui, Gabe, and Trey. I'd have to look at the math on that. But I mean, it's not a terrible proposal if it all works. But I think the Lakers will definitely will have conversations about DeJounte for sure. Over first apron teams cannot sign players via sign and trade. Right. Also, if they try to get another star, they're hard capped at the second apron, so they can only sign minimum contracts right after that point. Right. Well, yeah, but again, there are other things you can do to maneuver to get out. Once you get someone, if there's a certain number, say you're $8 million away, the Lakers have ways to cut down. So like I said, Christian would opt in. Let's say Jackson Hayes and let's say Cam Reddish opt in. They can move those guys independently in other deals and save roughly $9 million there. Gabe Rondo. You got ways in which you can maneuver, but it's going to be tight. Obviously, the closer you get to that second apron, it becomes much tighter. Less air to breathe up there for sure. Kobe's legacy was the Mamba mentality. Will LeBron's legacy be his longevity? Will we see star players and role players in the future playing at the highest level in the 40s? Yeah, no, his longevity is definitely it. I don't know if we'll ever see anything like this again, especially at the level that he's playing. We've seen guys, Udonis Haslem, like you've seen guys play well. Vince Carter's play well into like this late in their career, but not at this level. Not at this level. So I will say that I don't think this will happen. Hey, appreciate you, Tony. My guy had a fun day on Sunday. Let me tell you, it was like a little mini dog park at my house, man. This dude's a popular guy, man. So, speaking of, he's in here watching Sports Center. I appreciate you, man. Move D'Lo for DFS and Sharp. That would take D'Lo opting in or a sign-in trade. And like I said, we'll have to wait to see what happens with D'Lo here. There's a GM who says Lakers should target Michael Porter Jr. Thoughts on fit and is the player they need. He's along the line of something we can need. He doesn't really defend like we need. I'm not sure Denver would have interest in a move with the Lakers, but I think he can fit on a lot of teams. But like I said, we need someone who can defend out there too. Royce O'Neal or Kelly Oubre viable for agent signings? Yeah, they are. If those guys are willing to take the minimum, and if other teams don't offer more. Trey Alday says, I just feel like third star means no depth, and who right now playing have 3 stars. Well, again, I don't think Donovan Mitchell is a superstar, but I think if you look at Boston has 3 4-star level players: Tatum, Brown, Holiday, Porzingis. You can even put Derek White in there now. They got 5. You get what I'm saying? Denver, Jamal Murray, Jokic, Michael Porter Jr. A lot of people label. I don't label him as a superstar. Obviously, he's star potential. Aaron Gordon has been an all-star. He played. He's star definitely in his role over there. I mean, if you still label James Harden a star, you got the Clippers situation there. There are teams that have it. But like I said, what's most attractive to me about the Mitchell situation is the money is not that crazy. He's not making $55 million. He's not making Zach LaVine money. $35 million would be it would be so ideal for his level of play at that money. It would be a no-brainer. Who should sign Stanley again? He's better than Cam Reddish. Who should? Probably a G League team. I mean, he's just I definitely don't mean any shade towards him. I just don't think he's an NBA player that you can give realistic minutes to in the playoffs. That's just me. I would hope to be wrong on that because I wish him well. But I don't think he has a spot in the league, or he probably would have had one this year. Katie says, with the CBA, bro, no casual food can understand this. It's hard, man. Don't get me wrong. It's not like, let me tell you, it's not like just one morning I'm like, I'm gonna learn the CBA and I learned it that day. I've been putting in over a year of work on this. Okay. A year of work, talking to high level people, people who work within it, people who train on it, people who do conventions on it, people who run businesses on it, talking to agents, lawyers. Like I've spent a lot of time on this. So that's what I'm saying. I didn't just wake up one day and say, hey, I'm going to know the whole CBA today. This has been a journey and a process. It's been a little easier because I did this for the last CBA. So I just had to learn some new wrinkles and stuff, but learning a collective bargaining agreement and the stuff within it that no one talks about, which can shut down things that make it to the internet. Me learning the last CBA and then appending the new changes on top of it, it was definitely easier the second time around because the real kind of the bulk of it was still there. There's just been some things within it that got altered, but the fundamentals of it were there. Just some numbers changed, some levels changed, but the foundation of it, a lot of it is still the same. But I had to learn the first one, so when I learned this new one, it was an easier transition. Kareem Finals MVP at 38 years old. Yeah, no, I get you. He was Finals MVP, but at 38, he wasn't the best player on that team anymore, and he wasn't getting paid like the best player on that team. Oh yeah, happy B-Day, Lucky. You for real are lucky you heard. Nah, for real, man. Lucky had himself a good weekend. Trust me. I think if Lakers, Hawks, and Spurs come together, we can get something done. They call Rui baby Kawhi. So if he goes to the Spurs, he can be great in them system and tutelage. I think he'd be solid in that Spurs system. But yeah, I wouldn't shut it down. But I get you. Maybe they can work something out. I know what you meant. After MPJ's bad performance in Game 7, are the Nuggets in trouble of giving him that max contract? I don't know. He had a bad game. I still think he can be a good player that helps them, potentially win another title. 1 second, guys. Let me get a drink of water real quick. Man, oh man. Took Lucky on about a 3-mile walk. Came straight home and did the show. Didn't even get something to drink. I started my show. I texted my wife. I was like, hey, can you bring me a water? I forgot to grab one before the show. She was on the phone, didn't see it. So I've just been like over here just like dying. Shout out to wifey for the water break though. Man. Let's see. Is DeJounte still on the Lakers radar? Yes, he is. I hear you. 35 mil ain't bad. That's my biggest argument on it. Well, not argument. My biggest proponent to it, really. Let me hold on. I don't got no moderators in the building tonight, man. They're leaving me abandoned here, y'all. Hold on. Let me let me post a link to that article in the chat for those of you who have not yet read it. I think you'll enjoy it. I really think you'll enjoy it. Let me go ahead and get it for you because I broke a lot of the things down, a lot of the reasoning down as to why. I just put it in the chat. I broke down a lot of reasons as to why I think it'll work. Why I think they should definitely pursue it. Obviously, the Lakers don't hold all the cards, but I think they have more of a chance than people think. So I think it's definitely something they need to definitely make their best attempts to make it happen. Speaking of attempts, man, come on, we need to get some likes on this video. 60 people in the building, 43 likes. We greatly appreciate it if y'all drop the like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Like I said, about 30% of the people in here every night have yet to subscribe to the channel. It would mean so much to us if you went ahead and subscribed. Helps put the channel out there in front of other people, helps the channel grow. We just greatly appreciate it. One thing I never say enough of, I got to remember to say more. Please share the videos. Put it out on your socials. Put it out there on social media, man. Get us in front of more people. Truly helps the channel grow. So like I said, share the video. Subscribe to the channel. At the very, very least, drop a like on the video. And as well as shout out to everyone over on Twitter, man. Y'all rocking heavy for your boy tonight again. So drop a like on the post, retweet it, put it out there in the Twitter sphere, X sphere, whatever they call it nowadays. And greatly, greatly appreciate all of your guys' continued support. Means the world for me. Getting out here talking every night. If there was no one here to hear me, this is what I do it for, to interact with you guys and build this wonderful community that we've built. And like I said, greatly, greatly appreciate you. I believe we're building something special here. I got some more shows as far as different segments, different show types coming soon. We've already made the announcement of the EPJ Sports Night, nightly sports talk show covering all sports. Got something else coming on top of that that I think you guys are going to like. A couple of things. So working on multiple things over here, man. And greatly, greatly appreciate, you guys who got in early over here, the day ones, the people came along halfway, and the people who joined tonight. All of you guys equally thank you guys the same. You all appreciate it. See, Stanley can lock some guys up. I mean, he did it for a few weeks, multiple years ago in the NBA. I don't know. I don't know what he can do now. He just hasn't, he hasn't really been on the team. Been waived multiple times. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm rooting for him. Sometimes I feel when I speak to what I believe is the truth, I don't want it to come off as rooting against or hating on the guy. I hope he gets a spot on the league. I hope he gets a spot on the team. I just unfortunately don't think he will. Doesn't mean I want that to be the case, or I'm hoping for that to be the case. I just think there are other options out there, but someone that can, pretty much maybe defend and not give you much of anything else, and probably can't play much in the playoffs. There's a lot of guys that kind of fit that. When you look at even like the Wenyen Gabriels of the world, who give a ton of effort, can get rebounds, can help you in stretches, just cannot play in the playoffs. Too undersized, just gets killed when rotations shrink. So someone like a Wenyen Gabriel, someone like a Stanley Johnson, guys like this who are out there playing against 8th, 9th, and 10th rotational players, those guys aren't playing in the playoffs. So you're not going to have these guys out there playing against 1 through 7 guys. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, it's just a reality. But again, I hope I'm wrong. I wish him the best. I hope he lands on the team. But like I said, I don't see it right now. I don't see it. Not that impressed with how LeBron plays at 40. If you spend millions on your body, take games and plays off, and take right. I mean, yeah, but there's plenty of guys who did it. Like Like there's plenty of guys who could have done that didn't. Like Carmelo couldn't play at this level to that length, gifted scorer as he is. A lot of guys start falling off. I think it is impressive what Braun is doing. I just don't think that it's enough for him to be a top guy on a championship team anymore. AD should be the best player on the team. He should be. He should be the number one option. He should be what they run things to. He just doesn't have that A personality. He doesn't have that dog in him. Does Lucky have a shorty and he puffs on the way? He definitely got some shorties. No pups on the way yet that we know of. He did get out once. I don't want the Lakers to help Spurs after they quickly shut down Kawhi talks and send him to Toronto instead. Well, it wouldn't be it's not about helping. And that's where I think people get it mixed up. They're not just going to give the Spurs something at the sake of giving them something, but if the Lakers can get Donovan Mitchell or DeJounte Murray or get a very good player and the Spurs have to be involved, then you do it, because at the end of the day, you're going to do what's best for your team, regardless of helping or not helping someone else. If you can do good for your team and the other team does well too, then that's just good business. That leads to more moves down the line. But at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for your franchise, no matter what. Remember that song, Sugar Sugar by Baby Bash, Frankie J, such a smooth summer bop, the purest from the melody. Oh, yeah, Sugar Sugar. Yeah, definitely know that song for real. Especially out here in Cali, man. Sugar Sugar was bumped. Saw the Vando trade rumor. Makes no sense, but also understand if reporters want clicks and shock value. There's that. Absolutely. Savage. What's up to you, man? Appreciate you pulling up. There's absolutely that. But there's also people feeding them information to get it out there. There's people leaking stuff. You have to think about who it benefits, and you tie these reports in together. Could be something, could be nothing. At the end of the day, I'm just telling you, these reports mean nothing right now. Conversations about players, it could be this. It could be very much this. Cleveland could have called. They could have had conversation. I'm just using it as an example. All right, so if we are open to Donovan move, what is that? Who's off limits? And they're probably like, for Mitchell, just Braun and AD. Anyone else is open for discussion. And that's all it could be. They're not looking to move him, not shopping him, but that's how these conversations go. Let's say, DeJounte Murray, Atlanta calls us, hey, okay, let's revisit this. Who would you move? Everyone but so-and-so and so-and-so. So you have different conversations with different teams. So it could be that they told 29 other teams no when they acquired about Vando, but maybe they were open to it with Cleveland. Maybe they were open to it with another high-level player. And that's where it comes from. And that's what I'm saying. You have to really, really be careful with how you take these reports, because while they're more than likely, well, they're not imminent, and I'm not going to call the reports flat out lies. They're just coming from different directions with different motivations and different different context. And me, I consider myself the slayer of false narratives and a believer in true context. So having said that, it makes it really easy for me to try to decode through all this. And at the end of the day, like I said, it could have just been one team, but they said, we consider it if you're serious about these talks. And that's all it could have been. And that's the reality of the situation. Do you think Hawks get 2 firsts this offseason for Murray? Teams like Pelicans and Jazz were reportedly interested. They wanted 2 firsts. Nobody wanted to give that up. Well, teams that had it, that didn't give it up last season, I'm not sure why they would now, right? So I think they wanted 2, but the Lakers didn't have it, which is why I think that he's still in play with the Lakers. But I think that would be a secondary move. But I actually wouldn't mind that. Like I said, if you get someone like I talked about it, you get someone like let's say hypothetically, and I know there's been talk lately about the Bulls owner not wanting to help Ron. I'm aware, but what I'm saying is this: hypothetically, you get someone like Murray with the 2 picks, and then maybe you get someone like Caruso with the 1 pick. Like that would be a stellar, solid backcourt. That would be solid. So like I'm saying, like there are things like that you can do that are not Donovan Mitchell. You still move your 3 picks, but instead of 1 player, you get 2 or 3, whatever it is, right? So that there's that path towards it as well. So it's not just Donovan. I think that Donovan would be a solid move, but I think there are other solid moves out there. The trade deadline, I didn't see any. I saw Bruce Brown as potentially the only realistic one, and they still didn't have enough to get that done at the time. Outside of that, I think that there are several moves that the Lakers can make this summer, and I think they're going to be in talks for multiple ones. Skill is more important than a personality. Personality does not share the ball. No, you're right about that. Personality. Ideally, you would like both. You know what I mean? Because it's a better selling point. But yeah, I get what you mean. You think Zion will ever take off, or is his injuries more than simply getting in shape? You know what? This is another thing I hate to say. I think Zion is kind of that Andrew Bynum, Derrick Rose, Ben Simmons. You know, his body just can't take the punishment that he puts his body through to play the game. The amount of torque and pressure he puts on his limbs, ligaments, structure, his body is not capable of holding up to all the power that he must play with and gets him to a high level basketball player. Having said that, I don't know if he'll be able to ever escape that. True, getting in shape probably does help with that. But is it to the point where there's been so much wear and tear on those parts of the body that maybe even him losing weight, maybe he still doesn't escape it? I don't know. But I hope that he's able to overcome it. I'm not sold that he will be, but we're going to have to wait and see because it's incredible talent. Just can't stay on the floor. If you're Miami, do you do this move, Bruce Brown for Tyler Hero? No, I don't. If I'm Miami, if I'm a Toronto, I do. But if I'm Miami, I don't do it. Zion will be in the summer Olympics. Zion, man, like I said, man, he had potential to be just all worldly as far as star status, showmanship. You know, he was impacting winning when they technically put him at the point guard, and he was just bulldozing and just putting his head down and getting to the basket. And the Pelicans were winning. Then definitely didn't have them winning a championship, but it was enough to continue his star to rise. And he had potential for just massive money, massive stardom, and just never. It just seems like he never. It just seems I can't speak on any type of regularity to this. This is 100% true. This is just outside looking in. It just seemed like he never took it serious enough to get to that point, and that sucks. That because he had a chance. Like I said, he had a legitimate chance to do something. What just happened here? One second, guys. Okay. Sorry about that. I had something pop up on the screen here. But yeah, I think as a result of that, he just ended up and left so much more money on the table, and that that definitely sucks, man. That definitely sucks for him and his family. He's still getting paid crazy. He's still gonna make a ton of money. But he could have had so much more, had such a higher status in the league. I understand what you were saying. Lakers didn't have 2 picks at the trade deadline, but the other teams did and didn't give them up. I just don't teams are willing to pay 2 firsts for him. Here's my thing. I don't necessarily think it was not about wanting to pay 2 firsts for him. Because I think he's worthy of 2 firsts. I do. I think that it was teams knowing that this summer has a chance to get wild and they may be able to get something crazy for 2 picks or multiple things for 2 picks. And they just wanted to wait it out and see. And they were really kind of negotiating against themselves because no one was offering 3 picks. Lakers didn't have the 2nd pick. And then if they know the Lakers are linked to them and the Lakers get 3 picks, go after someone else, and maybe the price memory goes down a little bit. So it's all just kind of a leverage play. Like Utah was not going to do anything with them last year. Pelicans probably weren't going to do anything with them last year. These teams that were quote unquote linked to them weren't there was no difference in them moving then and in the summer. So I definitely think that DeJounte Murray is worth 2 first-round picks. I do. We'll see where he gets moved to, if he gets moved. That being said, LeBron is one of the greatest players of all time. Facts. He just cannot give the defense and the energy needed to be the first option anymore. I agree with you. I think a lot of people would. I think he can be a first option when it comes to selling, marketing, as a business. He's like your lead actor, if this was a production. But as far as a number 1 basketball player on a championship contending team, I think that ship has sailed for him. I do. Doesn't mean he's not great. It doesn't mean what he's doing right now is not great. That's not what this means at all. I'm just saying there's a lot of guys who that has happened to and it's passing them by. Is there a reason why you wouldn't do that move? Because Hero Loki has no trade value. That's something that can work, in my opinion. I don't necessarily agree that he has no trade value. I think people taking that what happened with Dame is just they made up their mind they weren't moving into Miami. They just made up their mind on it. I don't think that was an indictment on Tyler Hero. Also, my thing was mentioning with that the reason that they didn't have interest in Tyler Hero is because they already had a bunch of guards. So getting Tyler Hero just meant you probably have to flip him again, like they did Holiday, or those other guys, and they just didn't really have a need for him because they're set on the future with their guards, young guards. And but I think some other team, I think there were other teams that would value Tyler Hero. I don't think he has no trade value. I just think it wasn't gonna. It just didn't serve a purpose for Portland. If you're coming in, hit that like button, fam. Absolutely. Talk to him. We greatly appreciate it. 44 likes on the video, man. If you haven't done so already, please drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. We greatly appreciate that. I've had a pretty good run of subscribers over the last 7 to 10 days. And then I took the holiday weekend off, man, spending time with family and all that. So sorry, I haven't really been with you guys since Friday. But I did hit you with 2 videos today. The Dodgers one earlier, so make sure to check that out. If you didn't check that out, I was talking about the Dodgers road trip, them coming home this weekend. Did that video earlier. Now we're back here talking Lakers. You're going to start getting a pretty steady diet of Dodger coverage coming soon. Like I said, it's NBA season winding down. Obviously, we have the off season, so that's going to be important. But it's going to be baseball, man. It's going to be baseball. It's going to be Dodgers. And it's going to be a lot of coverage coming soon for the Dodgers, man. You already got a little taste of that in the winter. But you're gonna get a whole new wave of that coming soon, man. So appreciate everyone who checked out my Dodger coverage before. Shout out to the people that was reaching out to me to get back on here and do that. Greatly appreciate it. But we're gonna have much more Dodger coverage coming soon. This Zion talks got me thinking about Ben Simmons. What will happen to him now? Who knows? But he's not to label him a quote unquote movable contract, but with him being an expiring contract, I could see Brooklyn moving him to a team and getting a guy that has 2 or 3 years left on his deal that they like, and that team may look to get out from a deal, like I said, to reset. So I can see Ben Simmons getting moved this summer. I'll have to wait and see. LeBron has your second option would be crazy though. Yeah, as a second option, yeah, he definitely would. And he should be a second option. AD should be the first option, but he's just not willing to take the torch. Zach Edey would be a perfect fit for 17th pick. We need a big man. We assume that he'd be a good one. I hope I'm assuming he'd be able to play in the league. But yeah, I think that pick is gone, though, man. I think that pick is gone. Yeah. Jeff, is it guaranteed D'Lo gets this big long-term contract? The only team I see is Magic, but they're going after a lot of players to help Pablo Wagner in the playoffs. I don't think D'Lo is going to get a big long-term deal. He may get overpaid for a year or two, but I don't see someone offering D'Lo a 4-year deal. Maybe they do, but I don't think that's a team's top priority. I don't think D'Angelo Russell, when you've got, like if you're Orlando, you'd be heavily pursuing Malik Monk before D'Lo. You'd be pursuing a Paul George before D'Lo. So that money for D'Lo could dry up quick. Definitely could dry up quick. And there's a world where he comes back to LA. There is. I don't know if it's going to happen, but there is. It's not outside the realm of possibility that it could happen. I'm not saying I'm campaigning for that. I'm not saying it should or shouldn't happen. I'm just saying that there is a reality that D'Lo could end up back in LA. We'll have to wait and see. But we will see. Dodger stream was fire. Hey, appreciate you, man. Like I said, ton more Dodger streams coming, man. We got Dodgers coming. We're going to continue NBA, the offseason when the NFL hits. I'm telling you, man, it's coming, man. It's been a rough couple months schedule-wise for me, but some stuff is going to start dying down. And then we're gonna take off over here, man. My opinion, D'Lo held Reeves back. Reeves needs a defensive point guard next to him. This I agree with. What are some Kawhi trade packages you think can happen? I don't know because it's not going to happen now and it's not going to happen next season. So it depends on what type of year Kawhi has. And if Kawhi has a great year and is able to play all the way through the playoffs, then there might not be a need to trade him. But need to see what type of year he has, need to see what type of year the Clippers have, need to see what the landscape of the NBA looks after this offseason and maybe even after the trade deadline. And then I'd have a better idea and a better, I feel more comfortable answering that question with some substance that makes sense. Right now, it'd be pure speculation, and it's too hard to tell who that would be, right now. Because a lot of things would have to happen between now and then. D'Lo just don't show up in the playoffs. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like I said, letting him go for nothing, I think that would be foolish. Now, letting him go and getting a return, even in the realm of a trade exception, would be ideal. You move him somewhere, he gets his money. Maybe you get a pick or a pick swap, something back, or just the trade exception. But if you can get him moved, and let's say he gets 20, 22 million from someone, and you get that trade exception, then maybe you can move that to Toronto for like Bruce Brown. You know what I mean? Maybe there's something you can do there. I don't know. What I'm saying is, I don't think it's ideal for them to move him for nothing. You know what I mean? I don't think it's ideal to move him for nothing. Or let him go for nothing. I think you should try to get something that you could potentially use to get something else later. That would be ideal. I think the Lakers botched that this last offseason with Mo Bamba and Malik Beasley. I felt they could have got something for that money. They didn't. And I believe that cost them in the long run. I'm hoping that they learn their lesson this offseason from that. My homie said Kawhi injuries don't matter because legit everyone in the league been hurt when you think about it. Well, Denver had their top two players. Minnesota had their top two players. OKC had their top two players. Lakers had their top two players. Phoenix had their top two players. Dallas had their top two players. What other team am I missing? I'm missing one more team that made the playoffs in the West. Damn it. Who did OKC knock out? Pelicans outside of Zion had, and they had him in the playing game. So 6 out of the 8 top teams in the Western Conference had their top two players. Clippers did not. So like I said, I hear what he's saying, but it doesn't happen every single year for those other teams. Consistency. Yep. Jeff, if Bron took a pay cut out of about 30, 40 million, there is a world where the Lakers get paid to take on a bad third-star contract of LaVine and stay under the second take option, like pick number 11. Bron's. Yeah, I hear you, but Bron's not taking that pay cut. He's just not taking that pay cut. Brandon Kukio says Kawhi is fried. Yeah, I mean, it's getting to that unfortunate / uncomfortable / realistic expectation that relying on Kawhi Leonard is foolish. It's foolish, let alone extending him. It's foolish. I understand that the Clippers are going into a new building, and I understand they feel that they need him for that building. But at the end of the day, man, I don't know how many people are coming to see Kawhi anymore. You know what I mean? I've been to Clipper games. You know what I mean? I've been to Clipper games. I've looked at them. I've seen Clipper ticket prices. You know what I mean? Like I've sat in the 100 section and paid $27 on a resale. You know what I mean? I don't know how much Kawhi is affecting the revenue at this point to where it was that important to have him going in to the next building. Yeah, he's not taking a pay cut. Yep, agreed. BI slightly disappointing. Kawhi Jr., not in a good way. He lazy-eyed and plays one way. He can score, but what's his value? He also never stays healthy. Yeah, and he's a guy you can shut down by getting him out of his spot, and he doesn't play great well with other players. So BI's, I started saying it early in the season, he's giving me good player on bad team vibes. I don't like that I got to say that, but I feel that to be true. And They probably remove him this offseason. Can't win championship with Paul George or Harden as your number one player. This I agree with. Bloodhound says orthopedic surgeons getting season tickets for Kawhi. Darren, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you, man. Fortunately, Jeannie is all about LeBron money in the seats instead of championships. I think in a perfect world, she would like both. But I think she is trying to run a business. Outside of that, I think she definitely would love to win and make the money. But if she's not going to win, why not make the money is kind of that Laker philosophy probably. So plumbers and firemen are not petitioning against JJ's hiring. Not right now, they're not. Hailey says Clippers going to clip no matter who they got on their squad. Talk to them. Hey, you know what? We ain't hit the Clipper soundboard tonight. Let's hit it. Let's shout out Clipper Nation here. Man, oh man, good old Clippers. Clippers gonna clip. Clippers gonna clip. Facts. Get a couple of these here. Only championship Clipper winning is the most highlights in the Intuit Stadium versus other teams. Hella convenient though. Facts. But on that note, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down for the night. Appreciate you guys tuning in on 2 streams tonight. Appreciate y'all dropping a like on the video on the way out. Like I said, subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. If you're catching the replay, let me know what you think in the comment section. Drop a like, leave me a comment, subscribe there as well. You can drop a super thanks in there. It's like the super chat version of a comment. And I greatly appreciate y'all guys. Make sure to share the video, put it out there. It really helps the channel. And just appreciate you guys spending time with us tonight. We'll be back here tomorrow. Hope you guys have a good, safe rest of your night. Hope you guys have a great Thursday. And catch you guys tomorrow. Maybe I'll do another Dodger video tomorrow, depending on what time I get home. But other than that, I'll catch you tomorrow night talking some more Lakers, some more NBA. And y'all be safe. Y'all can be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. I appreciate that. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. Talk to you guys tomorrow.